InSight detected many large earthquakes. In just its first 8 months of work, it recorded more than 170 earthquakes. By 2022, InSight had recorded more than 1,000 more earthquakes. These earthquakes, or Marsquakes I should say, are strong, creating large vibrations that can cause landslides. Earthquakes are one of the most dangerous natural disasters in the world. On Earth, they also happen regularly. Each earthquake can cause huge damage to people and property. Although technology has now become more developed, allowing us to predict earthquakes, the damage they cause has not been completely resolved yet. This causes difficulties for SpaceX's settlement plans on the planet.
And we are going to begin recording the entire screen. And here we have an article on space.com. It's a great website. You should check it out. There's some cool stuff there. NASA's InSight lander detects biggest quake on Mars yet. This is directly to the thing he's saying is a problem for SpaceX. Let's take a look here. Magnitude 5 quake shook the surface of Mars on May 4th, the strongest tumbler ever detected, not only on Mars, but on any planet besides Earth. Now, that statement, if you weren't familiar with what a magnitude 5 actually means, might sound that that's a really huge magnitude earthquake. But we deal with those pretty constantly. There are thousands of those all the time, all over the world. The Marsquake detected by NASA's InSight lander surpassed the previous record holder, a 4.2 magnitude quake that took place in August 21. Now let's skip down the article just a little bit and let's see what it has to say about this. In Earth terms, a magnitude 5 earthquake would be no big deal. On our planet, such earthquakes occur 500,000 times per year and rarely cause serious damage, unlike the way the presenter of this video that we're reacting to today presents. Let's forgive him. Obviously, he doesn't understand very well how architecture has evolved to handle earthquakes. And landslides are not a problem if you build away from places where the land is likely to slide. Mars, however, is technically more peaceful, and a magnitude 5 is about as powerful a quake as scientists hoped for when they sent InSight on the Red Planet in 2018. Which means it's basically well known that Mars is very stable, very quiet little planet, and should be much easier to deal with.
If we want to avoid the effects of this natural disaster, we must choose spacious and flat areas to build our bases. However, such places have another danger. The Martian atmosphere is much thinner than Earth's, and it also does not have an ozone layer to prevent dangerous radiation from the sun. Radiation rays are very dangerous agents that can cause effects on human health as well as physical facilities. If we want to avoid those effects, we must choose higher and more enclosed places such as canyons and valleys. But this is a dangerous place if earthquakes and landslides do occur. Once an earthquake or landslide happens, all bases and people can be buried. More importantly, our facilities are still not enough to accurately collect and predict this disaster on Mars. Therefore, Mars colonization missions will probably be extremely risky.
So here's what our friends over at Great SpaceX are basically saying. We'd like to build out on the flat because then we don't have to worry about a mountain falling down on us because of a 4.0 earthquake. Well, due to Mars's very low gravity and thin atmosphere, it's possible to build much taller buildings on Mars than we can on Earth. While the usefulness in this regard of high-rises would come into question, there are other kinds of buildings. Scalar modular warehouses built in a cellular format could be endlessly expanded. Thus, we could build on flat open ground if that suits our purpose, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories tall, as well as miles and miles wide and long. or kilometers if you like. Thus, we could fill whole canyons or meteor craters, taking advantage of the scalable cellular warehouse model to give us access to the sides of the canyon and protect us from radiation and micrometeorites. For levels of these would be occupied by astroponic bays, producing agricultural products for our benefit, harmlessly absorbing radiation. Thus, Martian earthquakes are mild, and the radiation danger is solved by normal agricultural production. Some War of the Worlds-like allusions to little gray men from Mars transitions to exaggerated fear-mongering about a Barsoomian bacterium that may or may not exist, that may or may not get someone sick. Humanity and every life form on Earth has coped with an eternal onslaught of microbial adversaries and allies since life began. We can handle the hurdles the adventure advances us into. Aim for the stars, land on the moon.